Hi everyone, welcome back to Beware channel online here on YouTube. Today we've got an exciting guest with us who's all the way from, are you in Riyadh at the moment?
Yeah, Saudi
Yeah,
Arabia.
Syeda from Riyadh in Saudi Arabia. And we're talking about royal jelly production today. And so if you can give me an idea of your background quickly, Syeda, then we can move on from there.
Yes, basically, I conducted a research with my one of my teachers on evaluation of royal jelly from different graft cell of Apis mellifera linguistica, and the main purpose of it was to know about how much royal jelly we grafted from different kinds of by using different kind of needles, by using different kinds of cups. That what is the ratio of royal jelly we get from these. The product, how much product we obtain if we use different kind of like needles and grafting cells and all. So this was my main research. I did my MPhil in agriculture entomology, and my name is Sayeda. And then that's all.
Excellent. Okay. So how long was the research for?
Yes, it's for the 2 years. MPhil basically MSc honors basically comprises of 2 years, and because my class fellows were contributing to this, their main research was on this honeybee and royal jelly. So because I worked as an internee under the government policy, so I selected to be the part of voluntarily. I selected to be the part of this research, and the main purpose was just to extract royal jelly because. You know that honeybees are the novel research novel model organism because of the caste differentiations and distribution of the labors and breeding and genetics. So we selected the bees for this. And beekeeping is not, you can say, we are not supporting too much in beekeeping in Pakistan, but now very new beekeepers are coming and working on the research that is going on the bees and its product relative products. But we are more into extraction of honey, not participating in the other products we can attain from honeybee. So it was
Yes.
basically the purpose not only for the awareness of the individuals, but also for giving a pathway to the coming students that what kind of questions are remaining in the research.
Excellent. Okay. And then so I find the same thing. A lot of beekeepers, and I've been doing this a long time as well. A lot of beekeepers, it doesn't matter if you from, beginner beekeeper like a hobbyist who's only got one or two hives, all the way through to people that have got 300 to 1,000 hives. A lot of the time, I find the beekeepers only focus on the one thing, or maybe two. I'd say two things. One is honey production, and the other one is pollination.
Yes.
They seldomly go into anything else, and
Yeah.
there's such scope there for specific niche markets, right? Would you agree with royal jelly in particular, because that's been your area now of this study that you did. So, but before we go into that, Syeda, I wanted to just find out, like, what is the background? How did you get into? Why? I know you did entomology, but why did you choose bees? Was it something to do with family that somebody you knew was doing beekeeping before?
No, actually, I
What's
was
the
the first person
backstory?
in my family. No, no, I was the
Okay,
first person in my family who
great.
I don't have agriculture background or any kind of like farming background and all. I just randomly selected it because inside of me, I have a climate activist in me, and all we
Ah,
just study about bad parts of the insects. There is so much good parts of the insects as well. Not every insect is a pest. So I was very into like why the problem of global warming and climate change and all, and I wanted to be the little part of this little flower of this garden so that I can bloom and can impact positively to my climate. So everybody is killing bees now using arsenics and coppers, and chemical industries are killing them. Why killing them? This is basically they are maintaining the natural food chain and food web of our climate. And secondly, most importantly, they are also the pollinators, and that's the
yeah,
best part. Yes, now you see the world population is high. It's going to be high day by day. We need more food. We need more to like survive on. So bees are the essential part of it. So what I see in it that honeybees are the purest and the gentle and the loving creature that are not expecting something from us. just the clean environment,
Yes.
just for their survival. And in return, it's a symbiotic relationship with bees with us, that in return they are giving so much. Even we are unaware of their like so much benefits. We are unaware as a layman. We don't know, we
Right.
just know about honey and all. They are giving
Yeah.
us so much in return. So what they are expecting for survival, just a peaceful and good climatic conditions that we are
Yeah.
not giving them. So as per me, I was more I will mention here again that I was a climate activist kind of person. So for me, I want to bring change in the mindset of the people, because so many people are relying on chemical control of on the for pest control in Pakistan specifically. They are not going for other control methods, and it's
Okay.
disturbing. It's disturbing. They are even using the banned products, like even they have you can say repellent pesticides. They are focusing on odorous and pungent smell. They are not only carcinogenic for the environment, but also for us. So many people are killing.
And then
So
it gets into the water supply as well, right?
yes,
So
yes,
the direct impact is, yes, the pollinators and the pests, of course, that they're trying to eliminate, all get harmed, and then so does the ground and the earth and the soil, and the food, the residue on the food remains, right? Would you agree? And
yeah,
then
definitely.
you have the rainwater that comes along and runs all of that
Yeah.
off into
It's
the rest of
leaching. It's leaching down. Yes,
into
yes.
the ecosystem. So now all your fish and your other things that are other waterborne insects and things like that all get impacted. Frogs, the whole lot.
Yeah, definitely.
And I mean, we're a closed loop system. So eventually that stuff's going to come back to us. Not even just in the food, but in the rest, in rainwater again, and then it's going to fall on other areas. It just spreads
Big
out
rain.
everywhere.
Yes.
It's
See the
it's
acidic rains and all the earthquakes and natural disasters that are coming to us. We are bringing them. Not like no one is bringing them to us. Only we are bringing them. So
yeah,
we cannot blame other people that why you are not doing this. We should at least take participate. We should participate as an individual. One person can bring change. We
yeah.
shouldn't be thinking of entire nation and entire population of the world. We are the
No,
population.
that's right. Yeah, all of us, and we are a lot like a hive. Every bee counts. Every bee
Yes,
can
definitely.
contribute, right? That's the way I've
Yes.
always thought about it. Um, so all right, so you entomologist, what are you working on at the moment, if you don't mind me asking? What are you
Yeah.
what's your
Yes.
project at the moment?
Right
Mhm.
now I am working on the pest control industry. I am
Ah,
associated with pest control industry. That's why I know the problems.
okay.
But recently it's been only 6 months that I have joined this job, and I have given them an idea of launching a magazine where we mention the positive sides of the insects. And not only this, I have also given them an idea of incorporating AI with pest control, so that we can get less reliance on pesticides. So I
Yeah,
have just
and
given them this proposal.
fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Because my belief is there's so much, as you said earlier on, there's so much focus on what what has to be added into the whole farming perspective between fertilizers, Roundup, glyphosate, the neonicotinoids, all the pesticides that are being used. There's so
Hmm.
much of that being sold to the farmers, including things like GMOs as well.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
which is also, in my opinion, I don't know if I don't know if you've come across this in your studies, perhaps, or maybe in some of your site, because it's not related directly to pesticides, but I believe some GMOs have built-in pesticides. Is that correct?
Definitely. This is basically it's the Bacillus thuringiensis. It's a bacteria that they are using it in the
Right.
composition of it. So you can say it's comparatively safer than complete reliance of the pesticide. We are bringing innovation to it, but definitely it have some adverse effect on your health. So many people are getting cancers now. Cancer is so common. Why cancer is common?
So yeah, I mean, nobody's testing this stuff, are they? I mean, if they are, it's probably sponsored by the people who are
Who
producing
own pest industries?
by
Yes.
producing the same product, right?
Yes. One time I was when appearing for the exam of competitive exam, I studied the quotation in a book where they wrote that weapon industries will not let us to reduce the amount of weapons because they don't want to be the less successful. Just like pesticide industries will not let us like reduce the pesticide because they want us to rely so that their business works.
Yeah, I mean it's a multi-billion-dollar business, between Bayer,
Yeah.
Santo, and them now joining as well. But so I know we've gotten off the topic of royal jelly here, but I really think we should come back to pesticides. Maybe we do pesticides on another day. If we could go back to the royal jelly, I'd love to continue this conversation in a separate interview, if that's all right with you, maybe in a week's time or something like that.
It's
Because I've
okay.
got a
It's
couple of
okay.
other
It's okay for
questions
me, but
about.
yes, but on weekends because on Friday and Saturday it's my off.
Okay,
So okay,
perfect. Yeah, yeah, perfect. You let me know. Okay, we'll work around your schedule. Okay.
sure.
But if we can go back to the royal jelly, I want to know what is royal jelly for the people that
Ah.
don't know. Tell her. Can you give us an indication of what it is and how, why is it such a big deal?
Yeah. Yes, because royal jelly is mainly, you can say, is mainly used for feeding adults and queen larvae, and it's a homogeneous fluid, which has a creamy, milky, and white color with the acidic taste and strong pungent odor, and it's for the development and growth of the honeybees. But I want to mention here, royal means royal, for royal people. So royal jelly is basically for the queen, but they have not so much discrimination in them as well. They are providing royal jelly for 3 days to all larvae of the drones and workers, but not more than 3 days. After 3 days, these larvae and all larvae except queen larvae will be fed with bee bread, which is the mixture of pollen and honey nectar. So what for the queen larvae, they will be continuously feeding on royal jelly, and it makes them royal. When queen gave birth to the eggs, it marked them with some pheromones, which indicates that they will be the queen in the future. As a beekeeper, you know more than me. So after marking, these cells have different shape. So worker larvae, not like worker larvae are of age 6 to 12 days old, too young worker larvae. They are basically the nurse bees. So what they do, only the nurse bees will be feeding the entire colony. So they will be feeding more royal jelly to the queen larvae, and after 3 days they will be feeding to other larvae with bee bread. For queen larvae, they will continuously be fed with this. They have a strong phenomena. What they have in from their head, they have two pheromones in them: hypopharyngeal glands and mandibular glands. They are closely associated with them, and it secretes a milky solution, homogeneous fluid, which has pungent odor, and it contains acetic acid, enzymes, proteins, fatty acids in it. So these three components mainly, other glucose and fructose is also in it, lipid acid also in it, but the three components, enzymes, proteins, and fatty acids, combined will make a royal jelly combination with mandibular and hypopharyngeal glands, and this solution will be feeded to the queen larvae, and it will give them longevity. Why they are why they live long? Because of the royal jelly.
Right.
So I have so much, I don't know that how to express so much in one time.
No,
So
it's great. It's fantastic. So what do you have we discovered? Have you been able to figure out what contributes to the longevity from the royal jelly? Are there components in there that lengthen the telomeres or something like that?
yes, actually, basically, what DNA methylation. I don't pronounce the exact word, but
No, no,
basically,
it's
what
fine.
it is, DNA, which is higher in workers, worker larvae. All workers have higher level, which give them less life, and which basically make them sterile. And the queen larvae, why they are fertile? Because they have lower amount of this DNA. So what this do? This will increase the life of the queen. They are also fertile, and this is also, I can say, in fact, many researches are going on it, that if some people have sterile problem in them, fertilization problem, it can help to reduce the problem of sterilization. So if a person is continuously fed on a honeybee, a man and women can have good reproduction and fertilization in them. So this royal jelly contributes to this level. So this DNA is giving the longevity to the and enzymes also, enzymes and proteins also.
Okay, so on that note, did you have any so benefits of royal jelly? So we figured out it can give the bee, the queen bee, longevity. It also helps her to become fertile. Is that right?
Yeah, they become fertile
What
because of this.
what what other have you done other tests or experiments with the royal jelly, like in with as maybe as a food based or medicine based sort of
Yeah. Yeah,
product?
definitely. Pharmaceutical industries are using them in their medicines. It has medicinal properties like it can reduce the problem of cancer, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, leukemia, especially. They can be used. They are basically pharmaceutical industries are getting them, and it's very expensive. Royal jelly, because grafting is not that easy. So it's in little amount in grams we got this. So
Yeah.
it's expensive. So pharmaceutical industries are getting these expensive products and using in their medicines of leukemia, cancer, high cholesterol, like this.
Wow. I was in Ukraine in 2013. There was a beekeeping conference there, and there were obviously amongst 100, hundreds of scientists also speaking there. There was one in particular from Japan that was talking about how they experimented with, I think it was Japanese quails or Japanese pheasants or something like that. It was a bird. It was a wild bird, I think that they, anyway, doesn't really matter. And they fed them on part of their meal was a form of royal jelly. And these Japanese quails, almost without fail, all of them had two yolks in
Oh.
each. So when you talk about the fertility side of things as a queen bee, that when
Hmm.
I heard that conversation back in 2013, I was like, whoa, hang on a second. This if it worked, it doesn't just work for the queen, right? It certainly seems to be good for potentially anti-aging. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, anti-aging,
Yeah,
anti-inflammation, anti-bacterial, antioxidant. It has these properties.
full package. Yeah. The only problem is there's only a tiny amount, like 1 to 2 grams or something of it per cell, right?
Browns. Because when I research on it, we have three colonies, we have three treatments, and one have 16 frames, one had 14 frames, and one had 12 frames. So basically, the purpose of it to check the productivity, how much royal jelly we extract from one frame. So
Right.
definitely, the more frames are and more healthy the beehive is, the more royal jelly we can harvest from it. So from 16 frames hive, we obtained at least 0.53 grams. I still remember the amount 0.53, yes, or 59 or 53, like this. Obviously, it's now 5 years,
Between
but
5 and 6. Yeah, between point five and
yeah,
six. Okay, we'll take that.
yeah, so much little, so much little. You can say that it's too less
It's a lot
of
less.
after
Yeah,
the
it's
short
very
time,
little.
after
Yeah,
so much time. Yes.
it's very little. Okay. Um, all right. And so I think you spoke earlier on before we came on. You were talking about how you did compare like needle sizes of can you talk a bit more about that when you were
Yeah, yeah,
doing your
definitely. I would
research?
love to talk about it. Yes, yes. Basically, it was the evaluation, as I will explain the name because it will give viewers clear insight what I'm talking about. It was the evaluation of royal jelly from different graft cells of Apis mellifera. So, using while evaluating, we because the important component was bee needles, sorry, needle from grafting needles, the needle we are using, which one is fine, which one is good for beekeepers to attain good royal jelly production. So we use three kinds of needles. We had turkey delicates, so they bring their plastic form of needles with the spring on the tip. Had it was easy to use. We
Right.
had Chinese needle, and we has a Chinese needle with wooden holder. So we
Uh-huh.
had three kinds of needle we use. So the best we result we get from Chinese needle with wooden holder because it was easy to hold, and it was handling the grafting larvae very carefully because
Okay.
it's a very careful matter when you are excreting, like taking out of the larvae. It's so delicate. We use
Yeah.
very small larvae in this,
That's right.
so
Yeah.
it's
It's
very
really
important. So The spatula in front of that wooden needle was very soft. It can we and has a needle with here. We can just pinch it from here, and the in next cell we can pour it out. So Chinese needle with wooden holder was fine, very good. It gave us good results comparatively to the other two, Turkish and Chinese with simple plastic holder.
So the Turkish one was also plastic, was it?
Yeah, it was plastic. It has spring in it. It was
Yeah.
like a ball point. We
Right.
just push it from here and spring above it. It was also easy to use, but it broke sometimes. It was not up to the mark as Chinese. And China is far ahead in beekeeping. 90% of honeybee production we get from China. 90%. They are far from it, and that's why they are agriculture country, and they are focusing on their population and everything. So that's
And
they
food
are ahead of us.
and food security, right? I mean,
Yeah.
they were some of the biggest importers of macadamians in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Mm-hmm.
Australia was the biggest producer in the world, obviously exporting it up there. South Africa overtook Australia, I think, in 2014, 2015, 2016, somewhere around there, for being
Okay.
the largest macadamia producers in the world. But now China's planting their own because
Mm.
they figure, well, we've got the land and we'd rather plant our own, you know.
Ah, that's good.
And I don't think that's going to be, that's probably just one of many cases in the future where China is going to probably just become more and more self-sustainable, like you say, and therefore they're going to need a massive amount of bees to pollinate all those crops and trees and all that sort of thing. Um, so I mean, who's the biggest producers? China. Who
Yeah.
else is producing royal honey who did you get royal honey from for your experiments?
Royal jelly,
I mean royal
honey.
jelly. Sorry, yeah, I meant royal jelly.
Royal jelly. We are obtaining royal jelly from our own colonies.
Okay.
Our university has a colony set up in them with them.
Okay, perfect. All right. And then the market demand. I mean, you talked about cosmetics earlier on. How big is the demand, you reckon, for royal jelly?
Awareness is the most important factor here. People are not even aware of the medicinal properties of royal jelly yet, and because it's costly, so many people are unable to afford it as well. So awareness is still going on it, but people are now know what royal jelly is, and they want to get it at lowest price. And most importantly, the you can say. The farmer professionals are more into this. They want pure honey and pure products, and they want to rear their own bees and colonies, so they are more into it. So it's all about the awareness. The person who get more aware about it is getting the more products and getting more benefits from it. So
Yeah,
now there's a big gap, market gap here.
I agree. I think what would you say the market, sort of value of royal jelly is then at the moment? What?
It's too expensive. I again will mention in Pakistan, way too expensive. People are
Mm,
not very elite classes now. They have this. Now they have. They can afford it and they know about it, and they want to obtain it for because of its medicinal properties, and they want to feed on raw royal jelly, raw form of royal jelly. They don't even want like to be polished it in the refined product. They want the raw form of the royal jelly. Many people, even in my research, many people contacted my supervisor for getting this royal jelly for their like feeding and all.
for their personal use. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is your sort of wildest experience or memorable experience of your 2 years studies?
Honestly speaking, I am like some kind of literary person as well. So I learned from bees the teamwork. I love them. I love bees. They why they are extracting so much useful products, because they are working as a team. And I in my company I also supporting them in this, because they have the concept of teams and teams of teams. So when we like honeybees colonies, when we are rearing them so much colonies, and we are changing the frames from one frame, keeping one frame that is healthy frame, and keeping in the low, less healthy frame. We are transferring the bees in this. So it's like the teams are working together, and they are getting the successful rate. So but it was so very adventurous, because we had to go to the another farm of the of our university that was 1.5 hour away from my university, and we had to get up 5:30 to leave the university. We
Yeah,
felt so
lots of
sleepy, and
coffee.
because, yeah, without coffee. And
Oh,
we just stopped by somewhere in the like dhaba style hotel during the we get that chai, because we Pakistanis love chai. So we
yeah.
just had a chai. The sip of the tea make us awake, and the caffeine need. And we went there before 12, and sometime 10 if it's hotter. So we have to complete a check of the honeybees, because you know that during the sun time we avoid the opening the boxes and all. It's not good for them, and especially in the climatic conditions of Pakistan. It's hotter comparatively to
Too
your
hot.
country.
Yeah, it's too hot. I mean, you
So we
mentioned
have
earlier
to check.
on 40,
Yeah.
48 degrees, right? 50 degrees.
In my country, in my city, not in
Yeah.
Islamabad where I was doing this research. It
Okay.
was around 30, sometimes 28. In winters it is more high. So it's more low, so it was good for the bees to rear there, and it was happening for them. So the thing is getting up too early during the winter's time, and like having a just tea and just moving there. It was so adventurous, but it was so good, because we had some diseases of the bees over there. We had some challenges related. Sometimes our whole colony wipe up. Sometimes we had to remake the whole colony. Sometimes we had the problem of hornets there. So
Right.
my professor is a very good beekeeper in Pakistan. Mashallah, he's doing great work on bees. And what he did, it was a very good thing. Hornets were irritating us, and one of my professor asked to catch the hornet. We catch it. We dip the thread with the cotton ball in the pesticide solution, and not with the hornet. So when it takes to its nest, all colony will be damaged. So it was so good. I was
Uh,
afraid as well, and scared from hornet. Oh, it might bite and it might sting me. And at the same time I was very excited. Please give me this task, make my video so that I can do. So much good things, and like laughs and advices from my supervisor. It was a very good experience. I miss that time. Again, I want to do this and move there as a student and work like this. Honeybees are love.
yeah, I've got a great passion. I can see you have the same passion for the bees as well. It's great to see. I love to meet people who share the passion of bees. It's great.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, even convincing my pest control company to be engaging in bees. I'm
yeah,
convincing them continuously because
yeah,
bringing this
absolutely.
change is good.
Yeah, I
Yes.
mean, the bees are the barometer of nature, aren't they? In a lot of ways, because they're frontline pollinators, and they're basically the main. Besides bumblebees in some cases, there are countries that use bumblebees instead of bees, honeybees, that is. They,
In my
they're
country,
the
we are
major.
using for pollinators. In my university, one of my class fellow was rearing bumblebees in his lab, and he was working on its pollinating properties,
Yeah,
qualities of bumble.
yeah, and I mean they're between them. They're like the litmus test of what's going on in the ecology, but also in agriculture. And I mean, I see
Yeah,
this thing that all this trouble that's happened now in America, where the big commercial guys, the big commercial operators, have all lost 50 to 60% of their colonies over the December, January, February period this year, or last year, this year, and it's got to be related to it. It's not going to just be temperature, in my opinion. I think there was an interesting sort of peak, peak trough peak
yeah,
right at the end of the winter, which I think may have had an impact, but I'm not entirely sure because a lot of the hobbyist beekeepers lost a few hives, but not so many. And it's mainly been all the commercial beekeepers that have lost a lot of colonies over the last sort of 2 months or so. And I'm just wondering if it hasn't got something to do with the use of more pesticides or a different kind of pesticide in the recent like the end of last summer,
yeah.
that they had all their bees pollinating on. and now they went through the winter and they got weak. You know, their gut biome, or their something went wrong in their system
In
from
America,
pesticides.
there's so much harsh temperature. Maybe the harsh temperature is the main factor contributing to the death of bees.
I
Death of
agree.
bees.
I think that is my first variable that I'm considering. You know, but I wasn't in America, and there were a couple of people that I spoke to that said, well, they weren't in a specifically, particularly cold area of America, and they still also lost a lot of bees. And I was like, okay.
Mhm.
But I still think it doesn't necessarily take a lot of, especially with the varroa mite. I did some work here
Mhm.
this week. A lot of beekeepers are using these open mesh floors. These open floors, and I've never had that. I've never done that ever in my life of beekeeping. And I mean, you can imagine, if you're trying to go through winter and you don't have there's no foundation for your house. If there's a cold spell that hits -5 degrees for 4 or 5 days, and you're right at the end of your stores, you end of the population, because the population only lives so long in the wintertime.
Mm.
Because the queen's not going to lay that much anyway over the winter, because there's no point to waste the resources. And then
Mm.
eventually it gets warm for about a week. Everybody gets excited, and then the next minute you get zapped, you get hit by a cold front that comes in. That's pretty bad.
Mm.
It's like Black Frost cold front, -7, -8
Mm.
degrees. That could be
Mhm.
just that little bit of nail on the head at the end of the winter that could have finished a lot of colonies off. In my opinion, that's my opinion of how this worked out. I've yet to hear.
Mhm.
Apparently, there's some one of the universities in America is trying to has samples sent in, and now they're trying to test it to see if there's anything else that's coming up
That's impacting it. Yes.
that could be a pathogen. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But Syeda, thank you very much for today. It's been wonderful talking to you.
Same to
um,
me. Same to
in
you. I love talking to you.
Thank you very much. I just want to say in closing, you have mentioned like a number of things that it can be used for. What would you like to see royal jelly used for most? If for example, if I could get a bunch of people, 1,000 beekeepers, to start thinking about collecting, some royal jelly from each one of their hives, what would you want to see it being used for the most in your
Other
studies?
than that,
Uh, Say again?
you are you are asking about if not using royal jelly, other than they can use as a product.
No, no, no. As in, if we produced, if I could get 1,000 beekeepers, let's say, to say that they're going to produce royal jelly.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Okay.
they can.
Now,
Yes.
yeah. Now, what would you do with it? What would be your first choice that royal jelly gets used for? What product would
Uh,
you want it to? Would you like to see it most being used in medicine, in cosmetics, or pharmacy? Where would you want? What product would you make if I delivered you, for example, like 100 kilograms of raw jelly? What would Saida make with it? What would be your
yes.
your
First of
your
all,
best?
first of all, I would like to make more queens and make more colonies from royal jelly. I
Okay.
would train them to make more colonies because it's good for beekeeper as well as a business if they have a business perspective. So they not only honey, they can harvest so much from it. So I will ask them first to use royal jelly for for making more colonies. Secondly,
Okay.
they can use as pharmaceutical. They can extract this royal jelly and use in pharmaceutical because so many I have listened in even in my family. I had gone through this. So many people have this cancer now, leukemia, and diseases like high cholesterol and high blood pressure and all. So use this for the medicinal purpose because prevention is better than cure. Like
Yeah,
prevention is most important before
that's
the
true.
disease has come to you. So these two things. First, I would like them to make more colonies
Make
of
more
it.
colonies. I love that.
I have a
Fantastic.
business
Okay.
mindset, you see.
Yeah, no, I love it. I would agree with you. It's exactly the answer that I would hope you would say. It's fantastic. Well done. Where can people find you if they want to get in touch? Can they get in touch with you? if they want
Yeah,
to.
from LinkedIn, yes, from LinkedIn they can touch with me, and I can give them, suggest them. Basically, everybody knows something, and nobody is jack of all trade. But I can suggest them good points, that from which they can, reduce the problem of bees, mitigating the honeybee pest and pathogens, and harvesting more honey and royal jelly and other products like this.
Okay.
So they can contact me via LinkedIn.
All right, then we'll have another conversation as well about that. Okay,
Definitely.
soon.
I would love to. I would love to. Thank you so much, Ferric.
Lovely.
It was
Thank you
so good
very
talking to you.
likewise, and thank you again for your time, eh? Take care, right?
Thank you so much.
Thank
Inshallah, but
you.
on weekends. See you again.
Okay. Bye
Okay,
bye.
bye. Bye bye.
This is our queen.
Wow.
Newly marked.